the Pokemon Company announced that a new Pokemon Presents is coming this week. They do this every year. Every time there's a Pokemon Day, which is February 27th, they host Pokemon Presents, which is their kind of biannual presentation where they just showcase a bunch of news from basically a bunch of different like games. Normally, it counts to like your Pokemon Goes, your Pokemon Sleeps, your Pokemon Cafe remixes, all this sort of stuff. But sometimes they like to treat us and give us a little nugget of information. So they're debuting this week, February 27th, at 6 a.m. PT, so very early for you, Klein. And that's about like, okay, well that's exciting. I did want to ask you guys what you thought about this. What do you expect to be shown off these showcases? Because Game Freak is very, like I said, they like to give us some little like nibbles sometimes, but a lot of the times it is kind of like your Pokemon Sleeps and this sort of stuff. So what do you expect to be shown, and what is your like dream thing that they bring to this showcase? Klein, I'll go to you. What do you think?
What do I think about all of this? I think it's going to be, I mean, the Pokemon Presents are always very hit or miss. I don't think I've ever actually had one where I left and I'm like, man, that felt like a solid use of my time. There's moments in those streams that definitely feel like exciting and amazing, but then I'm sitting here going, Pokemon wants to track my sleep? What? They want to help me brush my teeth? What's going on? So we'll see. I will be there at 6 a.m. because I am very excited just to see what they will show. I think this year's going to be a big one. I do have a feeling that we get Pokemon Legends ZA. Like that's probably, I think, the best bet if we're talking about like big things. You're talking like what I want to see. I would love, and this might be a little more realistic than what I'm going to say next. Pokemon Red and Blue on Nintendo Switch Online. Just do it, make it happen. It makes so much sense. The thing I wish, the dream, is that we get an HD 2D remake of Pokemon Red and Blue.
Ooh.
In that amazing HD 2D style that like Square Enix has been using, that the remakes of yore, I guess I would say, in the Pokemon franchise, we've kind of been getting like, we had Gen 1 back on GBA, we had Gen 2 on DS, and I think we're up to Gen 4 on the Switch with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I think that's the last remake. So yep. I think a lot of people are wanting a Gen 5 remake, which would be very exciting. That game actually, those games, that's black and white, right? They kind of had like a HD 2D look to them before that was even a thing. So maybe that's what we get, but like I would love just like take us back to Gen 1, give us a full-on remake. I wasn't a huge fan of the art style of Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. I think that was and I think they do need to switch up the art style a little bit, and I think HD 2D would be just the thing of dreams. It's never going to happen, but it's what I want.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think like with Pokemon, my hope and dream is always that they go back to that 2D pixel art style as in some kind of form. Like I do like the 3D art style that they've done with some of the games, like Legends Arceus. I really like that art style, but my heart is always with that kind of like that pixel art is just so iconic. So if it was a case of them bringing Red and Blue or Yellow or any of like the older GBA games to like Nintendo Switch Online, I think that'd be really exciting. Just because they've also, you know, they did it on 3DS with like you could buy it on Virtual Console and you could like take those Pokemon from those games and transfer it forward. Like, so my hope would be that if they did that they would do the same thing there. But yeah, the dream would be like a proper HD 2D thing. I think that would be so cool. And it like, I haven't played the original Red and Blue. I feel like though that a lot of those older games, whilst obviously very iconic, they play a certain way and they could be updated in certain things. But I think like a HD 2D, you could still retain that art style that a lot of people love while updating some of those like basically like quality of life kind of issues that those games have like in a modern era. But maybe that's the direction they go. I'd love to see that. Who knows? But Lauren, is there any kind of expectations that you have going into this showcase here?
I just want to see Pokemon Legends ZA. That's pretty much and I think that's kind of maybe likely. If it is indeed coming out this year, maybe we get a release date or a release window, like summer, fall, whatever it will end up being. If not that, I wonder if we know we're not hearing anything about Switch 2 until April, but I know that I think it was when the Switch launched, but there was like a Mario collaboration, right? You could get the Mario kind of Switch edition, or the Zelda exclusive edition. Anyway, I'm wondering if we're going to see a Pokemon exclusive Switch 2 like design, which could be cool. It might be a little early to announce that though, but it could be like, hey, here's when it's coming out, and if it is going to be a launch title, you can also buy it as a bundle with this cool new design for the Switch 2. It's probably hoping for too much.
I mean, that would be really exciting. I mean, they have done it. I think with Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, they did like a Switch Lite exclusive version for that, and they also did a Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet thing. So like, there's precedent for it. They could like drop the news here and be like, here's some exclusive Switch 2 stuff before the full showcase, like in April. That would be really exciting. Yeah. But yeah, I have like a full expectation we'll see some stuff from Legends ZA, just because like we don't know anything about this game other than that like weird teaser trailer, like, and we can't keep using assets from that, there's nothing to glean from it. It's like nothing.
Other than that, it's coming this year. That like when they debuted
exactly.
that trailer a year ago, I guess this week, it said 2025 at the end of it, so we know it's coming. We have to see it at some point. I'm assuming it's probably coming before the Switch 2, because I think it might be an original Switch game. And so we need to see it. Like, we're running out of months before the Switch 2 comes out.
Exactly. My hope for Legends ZA, they teased Mega Evolution, which is like in Gen 6 they introduced this mechanic where you could evolve certain Pokemon into this like temporary form. So like Charizard got a Mega Evolution, and like Gardevoir got one, and Garchomp. So I just want to see their new like forms that they bring with that. I hope they just show like some cool stuff. And my hope, I know that the Legends kind of franchise, it seems like they are just kind of able to shake up the formula a little bit with how Pokemon has been up to this point. But I do hope that they stick to that like catching mechanic that they introduced with Legends Arceus, because I just feel like it felt so good, and it'd be a shame to not have that going forward, because it was just like, it was pretty revolutionary when they decided to introduce that. But yeah, any other expectations, thoughts? Gen 10, do we think we're going to see any closer to that? Probably not, right?
Is this like an anniversary year?
No.
Next year is the 30th.
Yeah.
This is the 29th.
I feel like they'll save big things for that year.
Yeah, probably.
Cool. Pokemon Presents. It's coming, I think, Thursday.
Thursday.
6 a.m. Pacific, if you're catching this in time. If not, when you're from the future, I hope everything's been figured out, and I hope all the Pokemon announcements were fantastic.